Hello everybody, welcome to Skill Ninja and welcome to this wonderful workshop today on dining etiquette. I hope all of you are excited and all of you are looking forward to learning table manners today. Let us start with exactly why table manners are important. Table manners and dining etiquette is a social etiquette which is important because when you sit on the table to eat with somebody, it is very important that the other person feels comfortable with you. Your social habits, your eating habits must not make them uncomfortable. And sometimes also it is important because a lot of business meals, business lunches and dinners are held only to see if the person is socially good and has enough manners so that they can be promoted to jobs. It is very important that we learn social etiquette, table manners. So today here we are telling you all about social etiquette and dining etiquette. So let us quickly begin with when you are invited to a dinner, to a party, how to enter and how to sit, where to sit. Okay, so let us start with entrance. And whenever you enter and you are invited by the host, do not take a seat on your own. Always wait for the host to give you a cue as to where you should be seated, because it is the responsibility of the host to decide seats. If you are the host, always remember that you must designate seats for your guests, because the guest of honor gets the best seat. It has the best view or maybe the best placement. It can be anything in your house. Everybody has their own favorite seats. So the best seat goes to the guest of honor in case you have many guests. So always gesture your guests to sit on the seats you have decided for them. And in case you are the guest, then please wait for your host to signal you, to gesture you where to sit. And if there is no such gesture, if the guest sits down, you also find a seat and sit down. So I hope that is clear. Moving forward, with women, it is mandatory that we have our purses with us. So where to keep our purses when we enter into a restaurant or a dining place? So please remember, anything that does not belong to the table must never lie on the table. If you have a purse which is small, it should always be accommodated at the back of your seat. You can comfortably put it there, because while you sit, please note, you should never be slouching. Pull your shoulders up. You should always be sitting very straight. Also, do not lean back into your chair. And if you have a bigger bag, you may find another chair to keep your bag. So this is how you must also follow the rule for your mobile phones. Mobile phones are also something that can look very rude when you're invited on a dinner, and if you keep them on the table, you are liable to check them all the time, because as soon as they beep or ring, you will definitely check them. So it is always advisable to put your phone on silent and put it away. Things that do not belong to the table should not be lying on the table. This is the thumb rule. Let's move on to the glasses. So today I'm going to tell you a lot about glasses, cocktails and mocktails. As you must have seen in our flyer, we're going to talk about cocktails and mocktails. But first, I will tell you about the glasses, the different kinds of glasses. Let's start with the bigger glasses. Now this here, as you can see, is a wine glass. This is a white wine glass. A red wine glass has a bigger bowl because the red wine needs more air, so it has a bigger bowl. This is a white wine glass. And always remember, any glass that has a stem to it is always held by the stem. Please remember, do not hold it like this or this by the bowl, because there is a reason why these glasses have a stem, which is that if you hold it like this with your fingers, the tip of your fingers can warm up the wine and alter its taste. So in order to keep the wine as it is, this must not be altered by the temperature of your fingers. So please always hold a wine glass by its stem. Okay, so this was about the wine. This is the white wine glass. The red one, the bowl is a bit open. Next we come to this tall glass. You can see is a water glass. A water glass is usually full whenever you are served at restaurants or anywhere. The water glass is usually full and it has water in it. So there is no confusion in it, right? Because it has water, so it is very evidently a water glass. So also the glasses are arranged as per their height. So the taller glasses will remain in the front while the shorter glasses will be closer to you. So next is this glass here, which is a whiskey glass. Normally it's a Scotch or whiskey glass. On that note, how many of you know what is a Scotch and a whiskey? See, whiskey is a very broad term which is used for all kinds of whiskies. A Scotch definitely is a whiskey, but to be a Scotch, you must be made out of malted barley and you must be distilled in Scotland. So any whiskey that is made out of malted barley and is distilled in Scotland particularly, the name comes from the geographical reason, okay, because it is distilled in Scotland. So that is why it is called a Scotch. So also there is a difference between the spellings. So a Scotch is a whiskey without an E, which means we spell it W-H-I-S-K-Y, while a whiskey, which is a broad term and is used for almost every whiskey, is spelled by W-H-I-S-K-E-Y. So a Scotch is a whiskey without the E. All right. I hope you will remember this. Yes. So whiskey, this one whiskey is a broad term, and Scotch means whiskey which has been distilled in Scotland. So here was the difference between a Scotch and a whiskey. Then I have another glass here. In India, we have a tradition of welcome drinks. So this ideally is the glass for welcome drinks, and this is the appropriate size to serve any welcome drinks like whatever you might prefer. So this was about glasses, and as you can see, they are arranged as per their height. So the taller glasses lie away from you and the shorter ones lie beside you. Also, there is one confusion to many. Where do the bread plates lie and where do the glasses lie? For that, I will tell you a very, handy trick, which means you can, form your hands like this and this. So when you make it like this, your left hand will make a B. So your left hand that makes a B, point that, and that is where your bread plate must lie. That is to your left. And with this hand, the right hand that is making a D, that must lie to your right side, and that is where the D for drinks lie. So the glasses lie to your right and to your left lies the bread plate. Okay. So I hope you will remember it like this, because when you make your hands like this, you will immediately remember that this is D, drinks will lie on the right, and on the left will lie the bread plate. So I hope you're clear about where to put your bread plate and where to put your glasses. All right, coming back to our main plate here, this is a table napkin. And how to use a table napkin? A napkin should never be tucked here, shouldn't be done like that. You should always open it up and place it on your lap comfortably. Place it on your lap very comfortably. This is how a table napkin must be used. All right. And when we are on the table napkin, let me just tell you that all about table napkins. Whenever you are getting up, excusing yourself for the washroom or maybe someplace else, you should always put it up and keep it to your left. Do not fold it very neatly, and you can keep it to your left. Also, it is important that whenever you get up, you always put it to your left, which should not be folded neatly in case to confuse the person that the napkin is fresh. So this is about the napkin which lays on your table, and you use it very delicately to dab, corners of your mouth. Do not, just keep cleaning vigorously with the napkin. You can always use it to gently dab the corners of your mouth and then place it on your lap, right? Okay, moving on to the cutlery. As you can see, I have 2 knives here and 2 forks. Okay, this here is the bread plate, and Indian bread does not require a butter knife. That is why I haven't put a butter knife on it. Otherwise, in Western countries, the bread, you know how it is, right? The bread is very different from ours, so they need a butter knife for it because they need to put butter on it, and that is why always a butter knife is served on the bread plate. While Indian bread is a roti or a paratha, which does not need a butter knife, so I've not used it. Then coming back to our cutlery here, these are 2 knives and these are 2 forks here. So always, whenever you find a lot of knives and forks lying here to this side, always remember to work yourself way in, okay? Work your way inwards. I mean, when you start your first course, it should be from the outer cutlery. You always use the cutlery that's lying towards the outer. Then work your way inwards, then this one, and if there's a third one, will be lying here. And the spoon lies in your plate or the bowl which is being served. This is how we serve the cutlery and how we put it when you're setting up a dinner table. Okay, these here, I don't know if you can see, but are dessert spoons. I'll show you here. I'll keep them here. These are dessert spoons. I'll show you more when we eat dessert. Okay, I'll just begin with the soup. So this here is soup, and I will also tell you how to have soup. But first of all, can you please write down in the comments that do we drink a soup or do we eat a soup? Alright, so how to eat soup? First of all, please be patient about your soup, because usually when it is served, it's piping hot, and you do not want to burn the palate of your mouth and spill it everywhere. So just let it cool down a bit, just that it's not that piping hot. Then you can always use this soup spoon, and never inwards. It always goes outwards, right? The soup is always scoop it like this, then drag it to the ledge, and then have your soup. Okay, so never do it like this towards your side, always to the farther side, the opposite side, like this. Drag it, tap it on the ledge like this so that it does not drip, and then have your soup like this. You never have your soup like this, always have it from the side like this. Don't have it like this, always have it from the side. So this is how you eat your soup always. So this was about soup. Yes. Moving on to our next course, we have the salad. Here's a plate of salad, and this I'll show you how to eat with a fork and a knife. Now I'm taking this fork and this knife and this fork. So always remember that the knife is always in the right hand, your dominant hand. Your dominant hand is the hand that you use for everything, right? So your knife will lie in your right hand while your fork will be in your left hand. So, and in case you are a lefty, you can make an exception and you can exchange, because your knife will always lie in the dominant hand. So this is how you always hold your food with the fork, right? Hold it like this, cut it with the knife, and then eat. This is how you eat. Don't eat like this, like this. Don't make odd gestures. Your hands should be closer to you, not raised. Okay, so just hold your food like this, cut it like this with the knife, and then eat. Now, in this there are too many traditions. The American tradition says that they do it exactly like this. They cut the food with their right hand, and then the left one is for the fork. Then they place the knife like this, they switch the hands, and then they eat it like this. It is also called the zigzag method, but the European or the continental way says that we can right away cut and eat, and straight away eat like this. All right. Also, while eating, please remember that only your wrists can lie on the table. Alright? Do not put your elbows on the table like this. Only in exceptions, when you're talking during the conversation, you might put your elbows on the table for a while when you're just talking. But while you're eating, never put your elbows on the table. Your elbows never belong to the table, right? So you should always keep only your wrists on the table. And this is also how you can talk. So sit straight, keep your wrists on the table, do not slouch, do not lay down, lay back, just sit very straight and keep smiling. So this was about salad. Okay, so Now I'm taking the main course, and this rice here. Okay, all of you know how to eat rice with a spoon, right? So you can always take the spoon and a fork. What do we use the fork for then? Okay, when you eat rice, it is important that the rice is something that might spill everywhere. So you can use a fork to support your food into your spoon, okay? So you can always scoop your food through the fork, if you can see how I'm doing it, like this, into your spoon, and then eat, right? You can always do it like that. Or if you want to eat with a fork, I'll tell you that too, then you can use a knife. People like to eat rice with fork too, so this is how you will eat with a fork, and you will do the same with the knife. You will help your food into the fork on the tines with your knife, and then eat like this. Never try to put the leftover food with your fingers. Your fingers should not touch your plate and your food. They should not. Okay, so always remember that your leftovers should be scraped by a fork or a knife, and then it should be held onto your spoon or your fork like this, and then it should be eaten. I hope that's easy. But table manners are also something that you need to practice, and you cannot look clumsy on the table. So if you're not comfortable with something, please practice at home, and in case not, then try to eat as normally as you can. Do not try new things on a dinner table or at a social function. Now I have another course here, which is also a main course, but since I want to tell you how to eat with a chopstick. Alright, so chopstick is something that you all want to learn how to eat with a chopstick. This is a very popular trend with all the Korean food and all the noodles coming in. Alright, first of all, I want you to write in the messages what exactly this is. So this is spaghetti, this is a pasta, right? This is a pasta, and spaghetti is a type of pasta. So starting with, I'll just tell you first how to eat your noodles with a fork and a spoon too. Okay, your spaghetti can be eaten in multiple ways. I will tell you each and every way. So let's start with a fork first. Okay, a fork is easy to use. You can just dip it in, swirl it around like this, and then make sure that the noodles do not keep hanging, right? This is how you can eat. So always, circle your spaghetti like this so that it gets entangled into the tines, and then you can eat, and then you do not have to worry about the noodles falling. So this is how you eat with a fork. Also, people like to eat with a spoon, so you will do the same thing. You will take the fork, twirl it around like this, and then put it on your spoon like this, and then eat. Okay, so this depends on you how you want to eat, but I'm also going to tell you how to eat with chopsticks. First, let us learn how to hold chopsticks. Okay, there's no rocket science. You just have to hold this like this. Use your thumb and your index finger. First grip is usually how you write, pencil grip, how to hold a pencil. I hope everybody hasn't forgotten how to hold a pencil. So just hold it like a pencil, okay? And then use the other chopstick to slide between the gap here, right? Slide it between the gap here, and then rest it on your ring finger. You see your ring finger? Okay. So the first one will be held between a thumb, index finger, and your middle finger, and the next one will basically rest on your ring finger. So the concept is only the first chopstick will move. The second one stays absolutely fixed between your thumb and your ring finger. It does not move. Only the first chopstick moves like this. Alright? This is how it is supposed to be done. I'll tell you again. Okay, this is here like this. This is a very normal grip. Okay, then take this another one, slide it through the gap, and then rest it on your ring finger. This is how it's done. And please make sure both the chopsticks are at equal length. So this is how it is. So this is how then you can pick up your food. Okay, this will require some practice, but there's nothing you cannot do with practice. So please make sure that you pick up like this, and it's very easy, This one will not move, only the upper one moves, and this is how you just pick it up and eat, right? I hope it's clear. Although eating with chopsticks cannot come just suddenly, so you can just practice with bigger things, bigger salads or something, and then you can gradually move to finer foods. So I think we're done with all the main course. Last we come to the dessert. I'll show you the dessert spoons. Now I'll keep them here. They're always placed like this. Do you see? Opposite to each other. This is a dessert spoon. It's a pastry spoon. Okay, dessert spoon and a dessert fork are usually smaller than your eating cutlery. As you can see, this fork is much bigger, right? So this is a fork for the main meal, the main course. While the dessert spoon and the dessert fork are much smaller in size. So this is how they are. They lay like this, opposite to each other, and you just pull them like this, pull them in like this, and then that's how you eat. Yeah. So let's also start with the dessert. Okay, same goes with the dessert. Eating a dessert is absolutely easy because you do not have to worry about spillage, about cutting food or anything. It's as simple as that. So you just hold this little fork to cut your dessert and then scoop it and very easily eat it, right? I don't think there's a problem with eating dessert. Yes? Alright, so today we're going to know something interesting about cocktails and mocktails. Today's session is more about the fine foods. Also, I'm going to tell you about the popular restaurant foods. When you go to a restaurant and you try ordering things, sometimes you cannot pronounce the food, and that is how you get confused. You're unable to place an order. So I will tell you some common names that you usually see in the restaurants these days. And by the way, that pasta I was eating, which pasta it was? Can you tell me in the comments? It was spaghetti. Okay, pasta is a very wide term. Okay, so when you say pasta, it covers like 100 varieties. All right, so please make note that whenever you say pasta, you have to be very specific because it has a lot of shapes, it has a lot of sauces, it has a lot of textures. So it's not that, no, it's not white sauce. Well, that you will be taught in our upcoming crash course, that what exactly a white and red sauce is called. This is our Indian Desi version to call these sauces, but they're not originally called white and red sauces. So pasta is of many shapes, of many sauces. That's why I told you it's a very wide term. And the pasta I just showed you, that was aglio e olio. So about the cocktails and mocktails, I'll tell you, I've chosen the most common ones that we see in the restaurants these days. And I'm going to tell you the pronunciation of them and how you must order a cocktail or a mocktail. What is the difference between a cocktail and a mocktail? Okay, cocktails are alcoholic drinks. Cocktails are a combination of some spirits and liquors, while mocktails are the non-alcoholic mixtures. Okay, so this depends on, this is the science, mixology is the science of, making cocktails. Because you must know, a perfect cocktail is a combination of sweet, hard, bitter, and sweet, sour, and bitter. It's a perfect combination. That is when we call it the perfect cocktail. So cocktails, here are some cocktails. Let us learn about the first one. Now all of you who are seeing this slide must be confused that this first one, what do you call this first one? Please do not ever call this mojito. This is mojito, right? This is called mojito. Yes. So when I say mojito is a cocktail, also a mocktail, please note that the mocktail says it is virgin mojito. Any drink that will have virgin before it means it is non-alcoholic, right? So a mojito is a drink which can also be alcoholic with a base of white rum. So when you say mojito, it's a cocktail. And when you say virgin mojito, it's a mocktail. Then we have margarita. This one, second one is called margarita. The third one is called gin and tonic. Gin and tonic is a kind of strong drink which is made with gin and tonic water. So this is gin and tonic. Then there's another very popular cocktail, which is the Long Island iced tea, popularly known as LIT. So LIT is one cocktail which is a concoction of four spirits, right? So these four spirits come together to make the Long Island iced tea, shortly called LIT. Then we have the Cosmopolitan. It is also a very common cocktail. You can find it on any bar menu of a good restaurant. Then we have Espresso Martini for the caffeine lovers. This is martini with coffee. So that's why it's called Espresso Martini. Coming to the mocktails, this is Virgin Mojito. I've told you that virgin means it has no alcohol. So when we say Virgin Mojito, it has no alcohol. Then we have Virgin Pina Colada. So Pina Colada is also a cocktail, but when we say Virgin Pina Colada, it means that it has no alcohol in it. Then there are fruit punches. Then there are cranberry, strawberry mocktails. They have cranberry or strawberry juice. So these are the common mocktails. Then there is this cucumber mint cooler, and then we have the Blue Lagoon. The Blue Lagoon is made with the curacao syrup, and that is why it has the blue color, and it's called Blue Lagoon. So this was about cocktails and mocktails. I've also got you, some hand-picked list of food items, fancy food items that are served in restaurants these days, but we don't know how to ask for them because maybe we do not know how to pronounce them, or we do not know what they are. So if you want to know more, you must join our 5-day crash course where we will tell you about everything, because I've been telling you there are so many things. So let us start with this hummus. This is hummus. Hummus is this is made from chickpeas, and this is a Lebanese dish which is very commonly served in Indian restaurants these days in fine dine. So this is hummus. So you must know it is made out of chickpeas, right? So it is a dip. Next is bruschetta. This is bruschetta. Have you seen? I've also added pictures so that you can relate to them, because in case you do not know what it is, it's like a bread served with herbs and chopped tomatoes. If you've seen, that's called bruschetta. Then we have lasagna. As you can see, lasagna is a layered dish that has layers of lasagna sheets and veggies and cheese, and lots of layers it has. So this is lasagna. Then the next one in the list, I think all of you know, but all of you pronounce it wrongly. It's not pizza, it's not pizza, it's pizza. It has a sound of T to it. It is called pizza, right? So next time you order, next time you go out with friends, never call it pizza, always say pizza. Then we have mojito. Yes, I've already told you that this is not mojito, this is mojito. Then we have jalapeno. This spelling here, starting with J, is a Mexican chili. Because it is Mexican, it is pronounced as jalapeno. Okay, they write J, but it is pronounced H. So it is jalapeno. It is a Mexican chili. You can usually find this topping over your pizzas and your pastas and more of foods. Then we have pasta. So it is not pasta, it is pasta. So you have the pronunciation with it. And yes, pasta is of many types. It's not only red and white. It's not only one shape. You have a lot of shapes: elbow, fusilli, spaghetti, a lot of shapes you have. So next on the list is the last one, sizzler. I don't know how many of you know what a sizzler is, but a sizzler is, the name comes from the sizzling texture that is provided to you. It comes on a sizzling tray where it is a combination of rice, noodles, veggies, patties, depending on the kind of sizzler it is. So basically the sizzling sound that it makes due to it being served on a sizzling platter with smoke. Yes, Ruby, you're right. That is how it is named as sizzler. So this was all about the restaurant foods. So I hope all of you enjoyed. So this was all about table manners. So you must understand that table manners are important. It is very important to pronounce the right names to know the dishes properly, so that you can enjoy when you go out. You can order things of your choice, and you can always ask for things without any hesitation. So moving towards the end, one last thing I want to tell you about dining etiquette. Whenever you're done, always ask for the bill by making eye contact with the waiter. Do not shout his name or anything like that. Also, it is good when they come up to you, they always wear a tag where they have their name on it. So it's always good to address them by their names. Also, if they do not listen to you, you can always raise your hand at the elbow level. Okay, don't do this. You're not calling a rickshawala. Okay, you can always raise your hand to the elbow level and ask for them. So this is all about the dining etiquette. And I hope all of you enjoyed the session and you had a good time.